Following dessert, Mr. President, more
That's it,
words.
sir.
I will, of course, defer.
No, you stay right there, it's fine. As President of the United States of America, I tonight proclaim that Fred is now a general. For this night only.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
I will put that down and I will enjoy it forever and ever.
Subject for confirmation. Okay, now what are we doing?
Dessert information. That's a Civil War bugle call for attention. And it's to notify you that something is about to happen.
And it works too.
Brother Al Halley of Halley Music, over to you.
Thank you. It is my privilege to introduce a young dancing couple from Arthur Murray, Aaron Berenson and Lynn Crudell, and I will actually attempt to play their quadrille, and I know they will be able to dance to it. So let's see if we can do that. Let's welcome them to the floor, please. Let's give our Arthur Murray dancers another round of applause. Are we ready to rock and roll? Okay. You've all got your songbooks now, I understand. All right. Now, I would like you to turn to the Battle Hymn of the Republic on page 4. But we're not going to sing it. What we're going to sing is the song that predated the Battle Hymn of the Republic. We're going to sing John Brown's Body. Now that was it's not there. Don't look for it. But it's so easy that I'll teach it to you in no time flat. And that's why it was the soldiers' #1 song in the North. #1 on the hit parade, if they had such a thing. But Dr. Christian McWhirter did some research for the publication of his book, Battle Hymns, The Power and Popularity of Music in the American Civil War. He did this originally as part of his PhD dissertation, and he calculated from a number of different sources how popular songs were. And John Brown's Body was the #1 song in the North during the war. Now, everyone knows who John Brown was, right? The famous abolitionist. Some people would say terrorist, Others would say martyr. But this song was not about that John Brown. This song was about a Scottish Sergeant, John Brown, a little short fellow, who was part of the 2nd Massachusetts Infantry Battalion assigned to Fort Warren in Boston Harbor in late April of 1861. They later became part of the 12th Massachusetts Infantry when they were reassigned to the Army of the Potomac. Well, Sergeant John Brown was a short, stout little fellow with a Scottish accent, and he was part of the regiment's glee club, the battalion's glee club. Almost every regiment in the Civil War, North and South, had a glee club. And everyone made fun of Sergeant John Brown because of his name being the same as the abolitionist. Whenever John Brown would be late for a formation, everyone would say, "Where's John Brown?" And somebody would say, "Oh, don't you know? He's pushing up daisies. He's gone to be a soldier in the army of the Lord, or his body lies a moldering in the grave." Things like that. And also, John Brown, when he had a big knapsack, and when he wore his knapsack and he's walking away from you, it looked like the knapsack had 2 little stubby legs. And so the soldiers would yell after him, "Hey, knapsack, where are you going with that man?" And John Brown would yell back, "It's John Brown's knapsack strapped upon his back." Well, a couple of members of the Glee Club decided they would take these taunts and turn them into a song, and they used the popular tune. It was a popular revival tune in America. "Say, brothers, will you meet us on Canaan's happy shore?" It wasn't just a song to tease Sergeant John Brown. So the first verse was, "John Brown's body lies a moldering in the grave," and that was just repeated 3 times, and then the "Glory Hallelujah" chorus. After that, it was, "He's gone to be a soldier in the army of the Lord." They'd repeat that 3 times, and the "Glory Hallelujah." Then "John Brown's knapsack is strapped upon his back." Now, one of the famous band leaders of the day, Patrick Gilmore, visited this detachment out at Fort Warren in May of 1861, heard them singing this song, and he wrote it down. And it was later published in August of 1861 as John Brown's Body, a soldier's song. When this group was reassigned to the Army of the Potomac and marched through Boston and then through New York City and then through Washington, they sang this song because it helps you keep in step. Any of you who ever served in the Army and went through basic training knows that singing songs helps you keep in step. So, they sang this song, and everybody thought, "That's a wonderful song about the abolitionist." Of course, it wasn't anything of the sort, but it spread throughout the Army of the Potomac like wildfire, and the soldiers all thought it was about the abolitionists. They even added a 4th verse about hanging Jeff Davis to a sour apple tree. They really enjoyed singing this song. 1, because it helped them keep in step. 2, because it was simple. And 3, it really annoyed the rebels. So let's sing "John Brown's body lies a moldering in the grave." John Brown's body lies a moldering in the grave. John Brown's body lies a moldering in the grave. John Brown's body lies a moldering in the grave. His soul goes marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His soul is marching on. Now the next one, "He's gone to be a soldier in the army of the Lord." He's gone to be a soldier in the army of the Lord. He's gone to be a soldier in the army of the Lord. He's gone to be a soldier in the army of the Lord. His soul is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His soul is marching on. Now this one is John Brown's knapsack is strapped upon his back. 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 His soul goes marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His soul is marching on. Now, the hang Jeff Davis to a sour apple tree that was added by the rest of the army. They'll hang Jeff Davis to a sour apple tree. They'll hang Jeff Davis to a sour apple tree. They'll hang Jeff Davis to a sour apple tree. His soul is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His soul is marching on. Oh, congratulate yourself. That's great. Now, you all know the Battle Hymn of the Republic. The Battle Hymn of the Republic came later. Julia Ward Howe, the wife of Samuel Howe, who was president of the U.S. Sanitary Commission, and Governor Andrews of Massachusetts, they all attended a grand review of the Army of the Potomac across the river in Northern Virginia at Bailey's Crossroads in December of 1861. Now, a grand review of 100,000 soldiers takes a long time. And thousands, tens of thousands of these troops were singing John Brown's Body. Again, easy to remember, helps you keep in step. So, all day long, they listened to this song being sung. On the way back, on the carriage ride back to the Willard Hotel in Washington, one of the people in the carriage turned to Julia Ward Howe, who was an amateur poet, and said, "Mrs. Howe, why do you not write some good words for that stirring tune?" Well, she thought about it, and in the middle of the night, she got up with this poem formed completely in her mind. She got out of bed, wrote it down, went back to sleep. She later published it as the Battle Hymn of the Republic in the Atlantic Monthly in February of 1862. So, and then it was published as sheet music. Of course, the soldiers, they had no use for sheet music. First of all, they, typical soldier couldn't afford it. It was written for pianos, and they didn't have any pianos. So they really didn't like Battle Hymn of the Republic very much. It didn't catch on with the troops. For the remainder of the war, John Brown's Body was the #1 song, and it was only after the war, at reunions, when Battle Hymn of the Republic was trotted out, because that was more popular on the home front because they had the sheet music for it. The words were too difficult for the soldiers to remember. So let's sing at least one chorus, the first refrain and the first chorus of the Battle Hymn of the Republic. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His soul is marching on. Very good, very good. All right. You know, this song is still being sung in the United States Army. At least when I went through Fort Benning for paratroop school back in 1971, we were singing a version of this called Blood Upon the Risers. So I guess it's still going on. Anybody here have any thoughts of what the number 2 song in the North was? Dixie? Who said Dixie? Goodness gracious.
Dixieland's Union version.
Ah, there is a Dixieland Union version, and we'll get to that. Okay. The second most popular Union song was the Battle Cry of Freedom. So everything in that book is alphabetical. So. While you're turning to that, I was reminded during your dinner that the Star Spangled Banner that you heard was a little different. Did you notice that? When was the Star Spangled Banner our national anthem? When did it become our national anthem? 1931, President Herbert Hoover's administration. During the Civil War, the national anthem, there wasn't any. There were about 5 or 6 different songs that were used at various and in sundry times. The Star Spangled Banner was just one of them. And military bands had the liberty to rearrange the Star Spangled Banner in any way they wanted to. So what you heard was an actual arrangement from the Civil War of the Star Spangled Banner. A little different. Also, did you notice for the Hail to the Chief, did anybody count the number of ruffles and flourishes? There were only 3 instead of the customary 4 that we're used to now. Why were there only 3? Because George Washington was only a 3-star general, not a 4-star. And we had no 4-star generals until after the Civil War was over, when General Grant was given a 4-star. I believe it was in 1866 and 1867 during Reconstruction. Well, I've been told that we are out of time for sing-along. I'm sorry about that. Let me just tell you that Battle Cry of Freedom was the number 2 song in the North. We Are Coming, Father Abraham, 300,000 More was the number 3 song. And for the Confederacy, Dixie was number 1. Bonnie Blue Flag was number 2. And believe it or not, Maryland, My Maryland was number 3, at least until after Lee's disastrous Antietam campaign, and then it kind of faded away. But thank you very much, and maybe we can do this again sometime and do a little more singing. Thank you.
Okay, let's see if this microphone works.
Thank you, Alan.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. You can use your own arm, or you can use that.
I guess we can get that.
Yep. I'll plug that in for you.
Well, I guess it's time to put on our own dancing shoes. You may have been wondering why I've been sitting up here so patiently, admiring the Arthur Murray dancers,
admiring Alan and his singing, admiring all of your singing. I've been invited here this evening as the leader of a historical dance company out of Cincinnati to invite some of you to our small ballroom floor. I say small and I emphasize that so you won't feel pressured to all join me out here. But what I'm going to do this evening is teach some very simple dances from the time. If you walked in here, you can do these. So, unless you're reaching for a cane and pulling out your wheelchair, you can do these. Because after all, let's face it, the Arthur Murray dancers are wonderful. I mean, they have this incredible talent and can showcase how people can move. Most people can't move like that, especially after a good meal like this. But I am going to invite, and I'm going to be pretty insistent to get at least a few of you out on the dance floor so you can see just what President Lincoln, his cabinet, the generals themselves, the troops who sang these songs, what they would have been looking forward to doing. We have these lovely ladies here in these gowns. What soldier wouldn't have been dreaming of his sweetheart back home and a chance to dance with her, right? I'm hoping that these ladies in these lovely gowns can bring their partners forward to the floor. I'll make them do the hard work for me. So all of the ladies in these lovely period gowns, if you bring your partner out here, I promise I won't break him. What I'm going to teach you, I'm going to frighten you right now, is called the Spanish waltz. There's no Spanish in it, and there doesn't really have to be any waltz, so you may live through this. This was, oh, you'll be fine with this. I promise I haven't killed anyone yet. I need a couple facing a couple, so find another couple and face them. Lady on the gentleman's right. So there's a gentleman facing a lady and lady facing a gentleman. So find another couple. If you don't have a couple to face you, get somebody out here. All these lovely ladies in these gowns, someone else could certainly be out here. Marvelous. Okay, here we go.
We need one more couple. Oh, come on, Ginger. Come on, ready to go. This is the first song. I'll have to come and get you.
Oh yes, go get them, please.
Mr. President.
The dancer in chief.
Hey, Mr. President, I'm out here, you
If you're paying, you're calling the tune.
Ginger, come on. Ginger, come on.
Mrs. Lincoln, please.
What's fun is this threatening to do a root canal.
So I need an even number of couples. Couple facing a couple. The lady will be on the gentleman's right, facing another couple. This is almost as hard as it gets. Like most of these dances, it's knowing your right hand from your left. You'd be amazed if I start saying it's a dance, people forget which one's which. So what you're going to do, you're going to hold the inside hand with hands with your partner.
I think that's my phone going off.
You're going to step toward the other couple. So forward and back. 1, 2, 3, back 2, 3. You're going to step forward again, drop hands with your partner, take two hands of the person across from you, and trade places. Turn clockwise would be better, okay? And turn and face the other couple. Yes. No, just the inside. Now you take inside hands with your new partner. So you're gonna, and you're gonna go forward and back again, forward and back. Take two hands and trade places with this new person.
It's back to you.
Yes. Just turn clockwise would be great. Now turn and face the other couple again. Forward and back. Take two hands and trade places with them. You see what's happening? You're slowly working your way around a little square. Just trade places with him. Turn around in a small circle halfway around. And turn and face the other couple. We got one more time, right? And you get your partner back. So forward and back. Forward and back. And take two hands and trade places. Take two hands and trade places. And face the other couple. Now you have your partner back by your side, right?
Wait a minute, I'm your partner.
This is how the Civil War began. They stopped being civil. Now everyone,
There we go.
gentlemen, take right hands like you're shaking hands.
Okay.
Ladies, take right hands below them.
Okay.
Now, so you're going to walk clockwise. 4 little triplets. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, and turn and put left hands in. This is as hard as it gets. And go back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, and drop hands. Now what you're going to do is, if you can waltz, I'm going to ask you to waltz. If you do not, I would say take promenade hands
Okay.
with your partner, and you're going to walk in a little circle around this other couple one time around.
Okay.
Just walk in a little orbit around this couple, clockwise.
Okay.
One time around, and then one time halfway around more. And you're sort of looking toward another partner, another couple. You're going to move on. You're going to go hunting for another couple, someone you haven't danced with. Mr. President, you can order somebody to dance with you.
Square.
So you found another couple. Now you have. And you're going to repeat the dance from here. We'll do it one more time. So forward and back with your partner. And forward and two hands trade places. And face the other couple.
Chuck Berry from the future.
Forward and back. Two hands trade places. Face the other couple. Forward and back. Two hands trade places. Face the other couple. One last time. Forward and back. Two hands trade places. Gentlemen, put right hands in the center. Ladies, right hands beneath. And walk around. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4. Left hand's in now. He's the president. Whatever he does is right. Now either waltz with your partner or take promenade hands and 1.5 times around this little circle you have with this new couple. No, you're with your partner. You're with your partner. Just go in a little circle around this set.
Which way do we go?
I would say go
You go to the next one.
clockwise if you can.
All right.
Well, make sure they get this before. And then move on to another couple. So no one's fallen down yet. All right. We're going to take it from here. I'm going to put on some music. This is the celebrated Spanish waltz. Popular for 60 years in the 19th century.
This is good.
Surprisingly enough, it comes from Rossini's William Tell. It's one of the ballet pieces, but they didn't do this.
Are we working?
No queen. I'm gonna follow your lead.
Forward and back. Two hands trade places. Forward and back. Two hands trade places.
Okay.
Forward and back. Two hands trade places. center, gentlemen. Ladies, right hands too. And now left hands.
The other one, yeah.
Now take your partner and promenade and go find another couple to dance with you haven't danced with before. Forward and back. Two hands straight places. Forward and back. Two hands straight places. Forward and back. Two hands straight places. And forward and back. Two hands straight places. Right hands in the center. And now left hands. Promenade with your partner, find a new couple.